Dear friends, how are you? There's so many things changing in this world. Right now in Korea, where I am, it's raining a lot. Um, and it's extremely humid. It's really hot. How is it over there, where you are? There's so many things are just so unstable these days. Climate's changing rapidly. The world economy is shaking. There's Russia and Ukraine war still going on, and there's floods happening everywhere, and earthquakes, and there's natural disasters taking place in China, in Africa, and in different parts of the world. And I'm very convinced that we are truly living in the end times. And the time of our Lord is drawing very near. And at times like this, we do really have to realize and understand that we have to prioritize things in our lives. What are we living for? You see, either we worship the one and the only true God, or we are governed by something in this world. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 3, one of the 10 commandments, the second commandment, it says, "You shall have no other gods before me. You shall have no other gods before me." That's the second commandment of the 10. And many times we treat this commandment as if, God is giving us a whole bunch of do's and don'ts list of things. Do this, don't do that. If you don't keep these things, I'm going to punish you. If you do these things right, I'm going to bless you. Just a list of things to do. Just a list of things that we just should watch out for, things that we should just keep. But there's a reason why God gave us this command. Because we are created in the way that we are either worshiping God or we're governed by something. We're never in a neutral state, you see. Let's say, for example, you want to own lots of money. But the reality is, the money will end up owning you. This is the ironic part. You think you can own something, but the reality is, that thing will end up owning you. I read in an article a few days ago. There's this guy in Korea. He wanted this Lamborghini, his dream car, for 30 years, and he finally got it. He wanted to own this car for 30 years. And he thought he finally owned it. But let me tell you, he thinks he owned this car. He thinks he finally owned this car. But the reality is, this car ended up owning him. Now he's being owned by this car. He's going to overly care about this car. He's going to spend so much care, so much time, so much money on this car. He's going to be bound to this car. That's our life, isn't it? If you want something so badly in life, you're bound to it. So when God says, "You shall have no gods before me," He's not just simply being a selfish God telling us, love me, love me. God is caring about us. God created us in the way that if God doesn't become our God, we're going to be out of control. We're made in the way that we have to have something control us. We're created in such a way that we have to worship something. You see, there is a void in us. That something has to come into us, and that something has to govern us. That something has to be in the center of us. That something has to be our God. Many times we place that something into that void. We make that something our God. Sometimes that something could be our family, our loved ones, money, status, fame. And we think that something can make us happy. We think we can control this. But many times, that something becomes our God. This something becomes something that we worship. And that something is not something that we own, but this something ends up owning us. And God is telling us, no, that something will end up destroying you. Let me come into your life. Let me care for you. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Let me be your God, and I will save you. And God is telling you, and this is an invitation from God, and God is telling you, you shall have no other gods before me. And I think this is one of the greatest messages from God, and God is telling us, this is the best way to live your life. Why don't we remove all these things from our lives and make the God of the Bible become the God of our lives? And He will take care of you, and He will save you.